Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another Claim My Unhauled Books video. I am going to show you some books that I don't want to keep on my shelves, and you have the opportunity to tell me if you would like the book, and if so, I'll send it to you. So all of the rules and specifics will be listed down in the description box. I haven't done one of these in a long time. I have to remember. Some of the most important things is one book per person. It's first come, first serve. I will try to keep a list of the books in the description box updated on whether or not the book has already been claimed, but it would probably behoove you to scroll through the comments and see if the book you're interested in has already been claimed. If you are the first person to claim a book, I will tell you in the comments, yes, yay, the book is yours. You can email me, which my email address is always in the description box of all my videos. Email me or Instagram direct message me your address information so that I can send you the book. If you're not 18, you have to have your parents' permission to receive mail from me. So I'm not Amazon. This is not Prime 2-day shipping. It may take a couple of weeks for me to get the book to you, especially considering I still haven't been out in public since March 12th. I will find a way, just don't expect it right away, but nobody's rushed me. Nobody's ever been like, hey, you, where's my book? So anyways, first is the mass market paperback copy of Prey that I have by Michael Crichton. I picked up a used mass market paperback because this book was recommended to me by Angel over at Jurassic Reads, and I promised her that I would read it. So I didn't know if I would like it. I had never read Michael Crichton before, and I did. I did like it very much, but I hate mass market paperbacks, so keeping one forever is not my thing. Is it possible that if I come across a nice copy of Prey in a different format that I would buy it and keep it on my shelves? Sure, it's possible, but it's not going to be this one. So if you're interested in this used mass market paperback of Prey by Michael Crichton, let me know down in the comment section below. It's actually not in too bad of shape. I mean, it's old, but it's an old book. Copyrighted in 2002. So yeah, it's an old book. There's some discoloration, but as far as torn pages or a binding that's super, super rough, that's not what's going on here. So decent shape. Let me know. And next I have a practically pristine version of World War Z in paperback. This book is beautiful. I mean, I love this cover and everything. I bought this from Amazon, so I probably paid a pretty penny for it, but I was able to get a hardcover copy of World War Z from Book of the Month. I just don't need 2 copies of it. I have a Book of the Month collection going just over my left shoulder here, and so I'm happy to have the World War Z Book of the Month edition, and this one is up for grabs. I love this story, and the book is in really great shape. Let me know if you're interested. Next I have the book The Toll. This is by Sherry Priest. I read this not too long ago. It was a Pick My Book winner. I don't know what month off the top of my head, but this is a Southern Gothic horror novel about a couple traveling to a campsite and encounter this mysterious rickety looking bridge, and upon attempting to cross the bridge, the female disappears and her husband stays in a nearby town while the search for his wife is going on. Mixed feelings about this book. There are parts of it that I really liked and parts of it I didn't really care for, but the book is in excellent condition, and I encourage you, if it sounds like something you're interested in, to tell me you want me to send it to you, to boss me around, and I will send it to you, and then you can read it. Next is my copy of Wellsuited by Stacey Hart. I recently reviewed this book. It was the winner in the TBR tournament for the category of romance. This is a self-published romance novel. And here's the thing. I liked this book. I liked this book a lot. I gave it 4 stars. And typically I tell everybody that I keep 4 and 5-star books. Anything less than 4 stars I don't keep. But there's certain caveats to that. One of those is romance, right? There are so many romance novels that I give 4 stars. So many that if I kept 4-star romance novels, my husband and I would have nowhere to sleep. So romance, I'm looking for truly exceptional romance novels. Like, for instance, I have a copy of The Kiss Quotient. I have a copy of The Hating Game. Like, those are things that they're 5 stars. They're phenomenal. Yes, I'm definitely keeping those. A 4-star romance is not that uncommon. Now, when you talk about thrillers, on the other hand, it's pretty rare that I give a thriller 5 stars. There's not a lot of 5-star thrillers out there for me. So yes, you might see 4-star thrillers being kept on my shelves. So anyways, that's why I'm defending my decision to unhaul this book. And I'd like to give other romance fans an opportunity to read it. This is the story of Theo and Catherine, who hook up one night, and the results are an unplanned pregnancy. So it's a super cute book. And next we have 1,000 Doors by J.T. Ellison. I haven't told you guys about this yet, but I did read this not too long ago. It's an anthology where a bunch of authors have come together and they've written short stories about alternative lives for one woman. One woman at the beginning of this novel is attacked and dying, and the rest of the stories are her, cataloging the different lives that she could have led that may not have resulted in her death at that moment. It was okay. It definitely wasn't what I expected. I expected this sort of stream of consciousness, like being visited by the ghost of Christmas past or something, where, our character who was dying was definitely present, or definitely maybe found themselves living the lives that these different authors were writing about. But instead, it was just stories of women who really were none the wiser. Like, when it was time to tell the lawyer's story, she didn't realize that her story was being told because an alternative her was dying. And I just wanted that sort of link, that sort of tether between each story, and that's not what this turned out to be. But is it interesting? Absolutely. So there's, a lot to consider about this book. There's a lot to analyze. It just wasn't what I expected. Next, I had a rather unsuccessful go with, and thus am unhauling, 3 Linwood Barclay books. The first is Fear the Worst. This is the story of a man whose daughter doesn't return home one day, and when he goes to her employer looking for her, that company has never heard of her. So she's been lying, and now she's disappeared. And the book is about one father's determination to uncover the truth about and locate his daughter. Also by Linwood Barclay, A Noise Downstairs. This is about a man who experiences something very traumatic, and part of the recovery process, his wife buys him this typewriter so that he can write and express himself. And he starts to think he's going crazy. He starts to hear the typewriter typing at all hours of the night. It's probably the Linwood Barclay novel that I liked the best, but it is also the Linwood Barclay novel that everyone will tell you is different from every other Linwood Barclay novel. So there's that. It doesn't take itself too seriously. So if you want to give it a shot, let me know. And finally, I have Elevator Pitch. This is a perfect hardcover. Like, it's perfect. It was an anticipated read. I pre-ordered it, so I got it right when it released. I've only read it the once. It's perfect, pristine condition. It's pretty painful to let go of it, knowing that it's money lost, but I didn't like the book. So anticipated as it was, it did not provide me the entertainment that I was seeking. This is the story of a series of terrorist attacks via the manipulation of elevators in New York City. So the elevators are falling, or there's all these elevator emergencies. And I expected a really tense John Mars-like thriller, and that's just not what this is. Be prepared going in. I mean, it's a super interesting concept, but in actuality, it reads more like a different kind of thriller. It reads more kind of like you would expect a crime thriller to read, a legal thriller to read. It's kind of sterile, which to me means that it just doesn't have a lot of super intense, emotionally impactful scenes. It just plays out how it's going to play out, and that's not what I'm looking for, because I'm somebody who likes to feel all the feels in a book. The next 2 books are just I picked up another copy. So the first is Here and Gone by Halen Beck. I have not read this book. All I know is that it is about a woman who is fleeing her abusive husband with her small child. And in in Arizona, she's pulled over by a sheriff who promptly arrests her. And she doesn't know what happens to her child. I can tell you that I've read another Halen Beck novel that was super emotional and super tragic and devastating. And if that's just anything to go by. But I was able to pick up a smaller, more compact paperback book of this title. So I'm giving the hardcover away. The hardcover was purchased used at a pretty discounted price, but there's nothing wrong with it at all. It doesn't even stink. And finally, we have the same situation. I have an extra copy of The Death of Mrs Westaway by Ruth Ware. I have not read this book. It is about a woman who is notified that she is the recipient of an inheritance. And upon learning more, she realizes that it's a case of mistaken identity. She's not the person that's supposed to get the inheritance, but if everybody thinks she is anyway, why not? I've heard great things about it. I just haven't had the opportunity to read it yet, meaning I'm slow. I take too long. But I had originally purchased this used, and then I found another hardcover in, was it slightly better condition? I don't know, but I found a hardcover that for some reason I thought was better, or I thought was prettier. And I think it was at a library sale. Like, I'm not paying a lot for these books. I don't want you to think that I'm replacing a $26 hardcover with a $27 hardcover and then giving you the $26 one. That's not the case. I'm buying these books used. I'm buying these books for really low prices anyways. So that's how I end up sometimes with extra copies. The only issue with this one is that the inside of the dust jacket is curled here and bent. But literally, I've paged through it. It is otherwise a completely pristine copy, and nothing is ripped, nothing is torn. So if you're interested in The Death of Mrs Westaway, let me know down in the comment section. Those are all the books that I have to give away right now. I'm sure there'll be more in the future. I love doing these videos, so I know you guys like receiving books in the mail. Book mail is always fun. So once again, if you saw something that caught your eye, let me know in the comment section down below which book that is. I will let you know if you're the first person to have claimed it, and then we will get some mailing information from you, and I will send you the book. If you have any questions about either the story or the quality of one of the books that I mentioned, leave those also down in the comment section for me. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to send you some books, and I will see you all very soon.